Okay. Hi, Neopians. It's me, your grandpa. I'm really excited. There are a lot of things I want to say, and I'm going to try my absolute best to say everything I want to say as quickly as possible. So mostly in the background of this video is just going to be me sending my game scores in for the day, but there are a few graphics from the AMA itself that I'm going to show you. So a lot of just me being bad at games, but also some important graphics we're going to take a look at as well. Today I'm recapping the AMA that was live today at 5 p.m. PST, today being November 15th, 2023, Neopets' 24th birthday. There was a special live stream event where they announced a lot of stuff. Some stuff they snuck in there like it wasn't a big deal, and that's some of the stuff I want to talk about the most. So, this is the too long didn't read version of the live stream, plus some things I want to highlight specifically. Let's do this. At the beginning of the live stream, CEO Dom makes a few really good points and touches on a few really good topics. We've got a little bit of good and a little bit of bad here, so it's very clear to all of us that a lot of new players are coming back to the site, but the downside to this is that it's really becoming prevalent how slow the servers can get when a lot of people are online, and unfortunately we've been seeing a lot of bugs when they try to roll out new things. So something that Dom kind of touches on a lot is that this brand new team is really trying to roll out that new content to show us that they're dedicated to the site and that they're trying to revitalize it. But then sometimes it backfires a little bit because of the old spaghetti code. We get bugs along with it. An example of that being today, they gave out 750 Neo Cash for free as well as a birthday goodie bag, but then the NC Mall crashed for like 5 hours. A little good, a little bad. We all got our stuff eventually. The next thing that Dom highlights is that they're planning to launch a new fan art program, and as somebody who participates in Neopets fan art pretty frequently, I am so excited for the fan art program. He talks a bit about how the artist community on Neopets is really important and also very talented, and that with this new fan art program, there are going to be ways to contribute in ways we've never seen before, like merch stuff. And as we've seen with the last two Neopet color releases, the Toy Poogle and the Moroccan Van Dagger, those are two words I don't know how to say. Those two colors were fan art submissions that Neopets got permission to use as official art. So the idea that community art can directly affect the official site is so exciting to me. I love it so much, and so many artists on Neopets are so talented. I can't wait. The other thing they touch on a bit is that they're putting a bit of an emphasis on attending more conventions throughout next year globally, as they want to make their global presence more prominent. Conventions are my nightmare. I have extreme social anxiety, so you're not going to catch me at one of those, but I like the idea of this, and this means more merch and more plushies and things, and that's always exciting. They go on to talk a little bit. They go on to mention just briefly the Advent calendar, which of course happens throughout the month of December. We're all very excited for it, and Dom states specifically that this is the first Advent calendar made by the new Neopets team, the independent Neopets team, and they're really excited about it. So I can only hope it's going to be amazing. Crossing my fingers now for Candy Chan stamp and a Snowickle. Don't come for me. Next we have quite possibly the biggest announcement, in my opinion, that was made. The official date of January for the first round of NCUCs to be released. That's Neo Cash unconverted Neopets. I'm gonna put up the graphic that they give us because this graphic tells us more than they told us with words, okay? So as you can see here, we're getting fairies first, are going to be the first UCs that are going to be available to us through the NC Mall, however they decide to release the item. But what's really exciting is the pets that are shown in this graphic. So what's exciting here is that there are 3 unconverted fairy Neopets that we do not currently have access to. The Fairy Bori, the Fairy Scorchio, and the Fairy Loop, those do not exist on the site right now. So the fact that we're going to be able to get those soon, and that other Neopets from our past could be coming back for the first time in years and years and years, I am so excited. I didn't think that I needed NCUCs because I have my full family of UC Grundos, but look at that Bori. I think I need him. After talking about the NCUCs rolling out in January, they talk a bit about merch that's coming out next year. So we're getting new plushies, there's a board game coming out, and then there's also a Neopets anniversary version of Monopoly. I personally am a Monopoly stan, so I might actually pick that up. And I know a lot of people out there are plushie fiends, so I'm sure this is good news for you as well. They touch very briefly on the fact that we're getting a new plot next year, but honestly, they didn't talk about it that much. It makes me feel like it's in the works and it's planned, but there aren't enough concrete details completed yet for them to give us. All they said about it really was that it was happening next year and there's going to be a Battle Dome element to it. So if you haven't started training a Battle Dome pet yet, I suggest you start soon. Now, this is the part in the AMA where questions from the chat start getting asked. So the first question they ask is, what is Neop Pass? So I'm gonna bring up the timeline that was shown, the graphic of the timeline that was shown during the AMA, and as you can see here, there is a step called Neop Pass. My first instinct when I read that was I thought that was going to be the new name for premium or something like that, but no, it turns out they're looking to optimize and kind of combine sign-in features across all of their auxiliary apps and things, I would say. So they're looking for a way to make it so if you play one of their apps that isn't part of the Neopets main site, that it will all be one login and you can still earn rewards for the main site, things like that, so that it's all integral and one cohesive thing, and I'm really, really excited about that. The next chat question is about the quest prize pool, the weekly quest prize pool. So Dom talks about the prize pool and how it was implemented to see if they can combat the crazy inflation that has kind of built over the last few years. So as they put these items into the game, he says they're collecting feedback, seeing how these items deflate within the economy, so kind of watching these items, how they're pricing, things like that. And then they're talking about updating it in a way so that it's kind of intuitive. He doesn't give a set time of like, we're gonna change the weekly prize pool once a month, once a quarter, or anything like that. He really kind of leaves it open-ended to be like, we're gonna do it when it's time. I'm trusting him at his word. We'll see how it goes. The next question is about changing pet names or usernames. A lot of people are asking for an NC item that allows them to change their pet's name or their username. Dom does not seem too optimistic about this. He says that's a tough fix, especially at this stage where they're at with kind of working on the site. It's not something that they're focusing on right now, and he says that it's something that would probably take more resources than they can give to that kind of thing at this point in time. The next question is about more pet slots. There are people out there asking for 40 pet slots, which I think is a lot, but go off. Dom says more pet slots could be coming sooner than later. They just want to do it in a way so that it doesn't cause further lag on the servers. And he seemed happy to kind of give us that over the changing of the names. Yes, I would love to give you more pet slots. Don't ask me to change your username. The next question is about the bots. We all know about the bots, the ones that buy up all of the expensive items in the shops, and they all get funneled over off-site in order to charge people real money for Neopets items. Dom seems very aware of these bots, and it does seem like something that they really are prioritizing. He talks about the infamous 60k botter. They have frozen a high number of accounts recently, identified accounts that were also duplicating items. Don't ask me how that works. Someone is apparently finding ways to take one item in your inventory and turn it into two. I have no idea, I'm old. Those accounts are getting frozen. He says the problem isn't completely eradicated, but they have been freezing and watching for activity, so studying the bot behavior, and they're looking for a longer term fix to make botting itself harder rather than freezing bots as they pop up. Two things he mentioned as sort of strategy for dealing with these bots was making two-factor authentication mandatory across all accounts and optimizing the CAPTCHA system that we currently have. The next question was, hey, it's been 10 years. When are we getting a new pet species? Dom says he would love a new pet species to be a goal for the next birthday celebration. He would love to see a new species for next year. The biggest issue is the backlog of wearables and making them compatible with whatever this new pet is, which I totally get. Next in the AMA, we get to hear from Anthony, the creative coordinator for Neopets, an absolute legend, icon, artist. Dom then asks him, hey Anthony, if we had a new pet species, what should it be? And without hesitation, my man Anthony says, a cat dragon, part cat. And can I tell you right now, I have never needed anything more in my life. Next up in the AMA was the interview with Alice, the legendary, iconic, faceless, omnipresent, omnipotent Alice, who has been working for Neopets on and off for 21 years, answering all of our tickets since we were kids. I heard her voice for the first time. And honestly, at this point, she's kind of my hero. 21 years of being incessantly harassed over email by 12-year-olds. What an icon. She's still out here. She's still out here doing the work for us. Alice says something really important that I do want to say. She tells us, if you have lost an account and haven't tried to get it back within the last month, try again. So if you haven't gone back and tried to get access to an old account since before September, try again. A lot has improved. They changed the process that they use to recover accounts, and their response time on tickets has gone way up. So the old policy for recovering accounts, only 40% of tickets returned successfully. With the new policy, their success rate is up to 60%. So she's really hopeful, and she really wants to help everyone. She's like, bring them in, bring the tickets in. I want you back in those accounts. This woman's out here working 10 hours a day, 6 days a week. She says she answers between 600 and 1,000 tickets a week. Be nice to Alice, okay? Next in the AMA, we hear from Zach from Jelly Neo. He's the one who runs the Battlepedia section of Jelly Neo. Dom spends quite a bit of time praising Jelly Neo, and even talk about how the new devs themselves, the new team, use Jelly Neo when they're making changes and when they're researching things for the site, which I think is amazing. At one point, really crazy, Jack mentions that Jelly Neo has a team of 41. There are 41 people working on Jelly Neo, and they all collaborate through Discord and work on the site when they can. Dom admits that Jelly Neo's team is larger than the Neopets staff. So next time we get a little critical of the changes and the speed of the changes, just remember that less than 41 people are on this team, okay? We gotta give them a shot. Zach says he's hopeful. He's seeing the traffic numbers on Jelly Neo going up, up, and up, and he's feeling that Neopets renaissance. I am too, Zach. Zach brings up a really good point and asks, is there a way that we can set up a better form of communication for submitting direct feedback and suggestions versus just submitting things to the editorial for the Neopian Times? Dom says that is a really good idea, and there should be a better channel of communication for feedback and suggestions. So I'm hoping to see something like that implemented soon. Maybe the staff of Jelly Neo can even help them out with that, since in my personal experience, Jelly Neo's response time on tickets and things like that is really, really good, really streamlined. The last point they touch on is that Neopets is hiring for back-end stuff, back-end engineering type computery stuff. And Dom urges anyone qualified to go ahead and apply. So, hey, get out there. You want to work for Neopets? You want to be the change? Get your resumes out. Finally, I just want to say, I felt like the entire AMA itself had just really positive, hopeful vibes. Everyone who spoke just seemed really enthusiastic, really excited to be a part of Neopets in 2023, really excited to make changes and make improvements and come together. Like, to see the staff of Jelly Neo talking to the CEO, speaking with Alice, who is like the head of customer support, it just felt really good and cohesive and just a really nice open line of communication, and it just made me really happy. That's my too long didn't read of the AMA. I think I said everything I wanted to say. All I know is I'm really excited, and I'm having so much fun on Neopets. I can't thank you all enough for watching these videos and coming by the live streams. We had so much fun during the live stream weight room stream I did. We kind of hung out for a couple hours before the live stream started, and it was just so fun. I had so much fun. So thank you so much for all the support. I will see you on the next one. Goodbye.